Welcome to hot take number 2 from your humble purveyor of Samizdat, Commander Culture. I am here, as you can see on my screen there, with some comments, a comment from one viewer who wanted to remain anonymous. I'm going to respect that. And as you can see there, before I get started, if you do want to communicate with me, write something in, ask a question, try to get something here on the air addressed, like this guy here, you can do that. Commanderculture@protonmail.com is the best way to get a hold of me, although I do try to interact with people in the where I upload the videos on YouTube, BitChute, and other social media. What's being asked here says, I'm interested to know your take on cancel culture. Well, first of all, I deplore cancel culture because it is not really a culture. I am an advocate of culture, as you can tell from my name. Cancel culture is simply the opposite of what everyone else calls culture. It's the leveling of all cultures into sort of a gray, amorphous goo that doesn't offend anyone, that doesn't inspire anyone, and that brings everyone down to the lowest common denominator. Now, so he goes on to ask, why does the left feel that this is necessary? Well, the reason that the communists who call themselves the left in the Western world feel that it's necessary is because they are in service to a lie. Okay, you'll notice my byline is I follow goodness, I follow beauty, I follow truth. I advocate those three things, the Platonic transcendentals, something that that Christianity also yearns to promote, but goodness, beauty, and truth. And the opposite of truth, objective truth, scientific truth, moral truth, is a lie. All right. The more, and you may know this from when you were a kid, the more that you lie, the more that it becomes necessary for you to build, other more elaborate lies to protect yourself from the consequences of having lied in the first place. That doesn't just include getting the candy taken away or getting a swat on the tuchus or something like that. It also means the psychological toll that is taken from lying as a course of action. Some people can lie very well. They're called sociopaths. Psychopaths are also fairly adept at lying and getting away with it. However, normal people, average Joes, average SJWs even, have a hard time reconciling the lies that they see and the lies that they tell with the reality that they can actually perceive as human beings with senses. So the reason that they feel that canceling is necessary is to make themselves feel better about the lie that they are in service to. Why does the right tolerate this kind of abuse? I think the best answer that I can give there is, aside from the standard that I would like to say, which is the right, in quotation marks, in the United States, is spineless. They're spineless cowards. They're not up for a fight. But aside from that, the reason I would say is independence. Okay. When you have an independently minded culture, as many on the right are, you tend to just want to be left alone. Okay, there's a hard libertarian streak in there. There's a hard sort of a Christian turn the other cheek sort of a feeling, and tolerating abuse is seen by some people who misinterpret Christian theology as being some sort of a higher calling. All right. This is not accurate either to Christianity or to the general thrust of Western culture. Okay. However, this is the belief. All right. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to do this all on my own. I have to absorb this abuse on my own. Okay. The right tends to do this. It's kind of a martyr complex, if you will. We like that. We want to be seen as the martyr because then it confirms that we, in fact, are just in our cause, which is folly. Because as we get picked off one by one, justness really doesn't matter when the entire field is littered with your own causes, dead bodies. The writer goes on to say, our Constitution guarantees free our Constitution guarantees a First Amendment right to free speech. I like to make a couple of corrections here. Number one, Constitution should always be capitalized if you're referring to the American Constitution. Sorry, it's just a nitpicker in me here. I also want to say that it's not the Constitution that guarantees the right to free speech. According to the Constitution, it's God himself who guarantees the right to free speech against governmental intrusions, all right? And as we can see, and as I believe, the Constitution as a document which prohibits the government from doing certain things that violate God-given rights is a dead letter. Okay, our right to bear arms, for example, has been abridged. Our right against unreasonable searches and seizures have been abridged. If you've been to the airport recently, our right to free speech has definitely been abridged. When you have government organized and government permitted corporations banning free speech all over the place, right and left, it'll happen to your humble correspondent here at some point. But so our Constitution has, as it's been based on moral, ethical, Western culture, has protected a right to free speech. However, we are no longer made up of a moral, godly people in either our government or in our general population in the United States. Therefore, this right to free speech is abridged. Okay. And frankly, you know, this is a conversation for another time, but the right to free speech has, in my opinion, been sort of the bridgehead, the wedge with which these SJWs have begun battering down Christian culture, Western culture in the United States and the West all around. That's a conversation for another day. So cancel culture is essentially the attempt by mentally deranged individuals to square the reality that they have in their head with the reality that they actually can perceive around them. They want them to match. Therefore, if they remove you from the equation, if they remove you from their Twitter feed, if they remove you from your workplace, they get a sense of vengeance. They get a sense of the hunt in their bones, and they believe that they're making the world a better place because they're making themselves feel better. That's essentially what cancel culture is about. But we see this going all the way back to you know, the French Revolution with the Jacobins. We see this with you know, the religious wars, where you would just murder your religious opponents rather than hear out their theological or ethical claims. We see this in the Soviet Union, in communist China, in communist Cuba, in all other places where totalitarianism has gained a foothold. You see cancel culture, and it's coming to the United States. So that's my take on cancel culture. That's what I think is up with it. I think it's extremely pernicious. At this point, I think that we are probably justified in trying to turn that around. As I said in my 10 points on my other video about what we can do to move forward, maybe we start canceling SJWs. Maybe we start canceling the regressive left, and start making the world kind of the place that we know that it should and can be. That's all I have to say for today. If you would like to correspond, if you'd like to maybe get your comment read out on air, I have gotten a whole bunch, and I'll be trying to get to those as much as I can. Write to me at commanderculture, all one word, at protonmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the videos. And I look forward to interacting with you as we move forward. Thank you so much. Tomorrow belongs to you, to the stars.